Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Inkbound Daily. Today is the solo daily for November 6th, I'm way ahead of myself. Today we're playing Chainbreaker, going from Garden's Edge into Proving Grounds, and then up against Runestone. Seems like a relatively easy, Chainbreaker set, except for, of course, I feel like Chainbreaker suffers a bit versus Giannis, but having them in the second act means that we're more likely to be able to build something that can actually do something against them. Also, taking a look here, we have Eager Foes, which is, again, a little interesting due to the fact that Chainbreaker innately kind of suffers with area, or AoE, however you want to say it. They do have their, what is it, energy eruption or whatever it's called. Can't take a look at it quite now. That is like decent AoE damage. It's 200 base damage, but the fact that it's split means that it's a little bit awkward. It's not really a great AoE. It's like, I believe it's slightly larger than Cleave. But yeah, for 3 costs, it's just sort of hard to use. And of course, the idea is that you're going to use their passive in order to make that button better. And I think that makes it okay in its current set, right? And I think the point is that with their very strong single target damage that they're supposed to suffer at AoE, and that makes them a little bit more interesting. So that's something that we need to somehow solve, namely the ring of dummies, actually trying to solve them early before we get to phase 2 of Giannis, because then a ton of damage is going to be incoming. And we want to make sure that we try to get those perfects as much as possible, especially now that it's worth points. So we're going to have to be on the lookout for something like that. Of course, Verdant also helps, but Vigorous sort of makes that a little bit easier for us. We also start with Death Scythe, so don't die in the early game, but then in the late game we're going to have a ton of health. And that's why I was thinking Verdant, because we should have like a whole ton of max HP by which to use that. And then of course we've got just a ton of vestiges popping out of alts. We have Emblem of Enterprise, so we should have a ton of money and a few more glyphs. Not as much as we would get from, say, what is the other one? Blessing of Quills. But it's still a couple more glyphs, which means that we can re-roll those options a little bit more and not take. Interesting. We've got quite a bit of spread of stuff here. Huh. Okay. I always like the increased teleport range. This is so useful. It doesn't do anything for our turn 1, like technically Virulent Fist. Critical Eruption is probably worst for our turn 1 than anything on this thing here. I would say that's actually worse than Runic Strike, because a lot of enemy spawns. Long Runic Strike means that we actually be able to run around and hit them. I think we're going to take that. That's just too good of utility. We also got a Mercurial Elixir, which helps, but it is notable that Chainbreaker doesn't use Mercurial as well as other people, simply because your 2 and your 3 cost 2 and 3 respectively. So it's really hard for you to actually feel using it. Like, the one thing that we might use this for legitimately is just blow something up with Eruption and then take it off cooldown. But that wouldn't be a fight 1 sort of deal, because there's not a turn 2. But in fight 2, there's obviously multiple turns, and then we would be able to have Eruption available later. We're honestly gonna have too many vaults here. Hold up, I need to mute my Discord. This thing's gonna be going off all the frickin' time. There's a conversation happening elsewhere, and I'm not a part of it, but that means that I also don't want to get blown up. I could almost see this Quillen Cage here. Like, having a ton of vestiges is nice, because odds are is that we're going to get something good. But then if our inventory is full, then it kind of feels bad, if that makes any sense. But we're also going to make more than enough money. See, like, Quillen Cage, it's almost funny how low this is dropped in dailies, simply because they dropped it from 750 down to 500 for the max scoring. But I honestly think that this is the right move here, simply because I don't want to get inundated with a bunch of potential trash. Like, obviously, that node could be probably the best node that we've ever seen. Dropping 4 of something is pretty good. Oh my god, there we go. Okay, so we can hit this. What does that mean? It means we take this power orb. Is that right? Maybe it means that we hit this? I don't think that that's enough damage. How much damage are we... Excuse me? How much damage are we doing here? You have 185 left. Even if we do this, it's actually not going to be enough damage for us to clear this. And admittedly, it's because we didn't roll Liar's Dice, which is actual RNG. If we let you hit us, you're going to take 20 damage. We're going to take damage, and we lose even more points. That's not really what we're looking to do here. This will take care of one of you guys. If I was to punch, that still wouldn't take care of one of you guys, because you have 185 remaining. We literally just needed a damage. This Liar's Dice was huge, because I punch you twice, punch you once, then hit you with this. This would deal 30 more. Let me just math this out and see if this is true or not. Because otherwise, the people who are able to beat Fight 1 kind of require a crit, right? So that would be a total of 290 times 1.3. 377. Yeah, so you would require a crit, preferably on this, in order to make that. So does that mean that Critical Eruption is technically the move? It only increases your odds by another 6%, but that's double the chance that everybody else has in order to actually make this. The other thing that was offered to us was the Violent Eruption, or the Virulent Eruption, which would then deal another 50, so that still wouldn't be enough either. Yeah, it's pretty much the Critical Eruption is like the only thing that'll do this. I suppose if you had the poison and we rolled Liar's Dice, but even that probably wouldn't make it. So if that's the case, are we able to do this from out here? Yeah, we can do that. The correct move, though, is something like this. Otherwise, like, what you gonna do? Cry, maybe? I'm pretty good at crying. Extra turns 1. Again, we would pretty much have to have the world happen for us in order for that to work. Misting Bells is decent. Station Grade Klaxon is more movement in the first turn. That's okay. Gets us closer to Ambusher. They really are pushing this whole spike idea here. Do we need it for, like, Nim? Maybe we need it for Nim. Maybe we need it for Giannis. Otherwise, I'm not really feeling it. But it honestly could be, like, pretty good. Like, it is 8 stacks of spike now. Can buff that up with some toys, some augments. We're gaining 2 every turn. Let's see. So then we would have 10 spikes on the first go. The first turn. This can get up to 15. 150 damage. That's worth like 2 runic strikes about. I can kind of get behind that. I'm not sure it's the right play, but we might just believe in Eruption for just a moment. And I honestly want to go to a Binding Empowerment after a node like that. I need to increase my clearing potential, and we did not do that last round. So it's definitely not Plated Wall. We might honestly redo this, because I don't like anything that's being offered here. This is not much better. Critical Eruption, though. At this point, we could have had 2 critical eruptions. I don't know. It's a green freaking crit aug. I'm not appreciative of it. Like, this does not increase our damage by that much. And requiring us to, like, hit the collision for just... Like, the overall damage increase here, like, is great for the collision. Like, this is more than, like, 50%. But, like, the single target portion of it, again, like, a lot of Chainbreaker augments just forget that they're part of another part of the skill. And this is just a green critical aug, so I don't like it. But I don't think that we can really afford to reroll again. Like, we technically can. We have Enterprise. Go ahead, we'll do it. Why not? This came back. Like, basically everything we didn't want to see came back. Okay, this was a terrible node. Let's go to this rare augment and get even more upset. I'm willing to take Shatter and Hex. Those are usually pretty good to have. Alright, let's hit up the Superior Vault. 1 whale, huh? Sure, why not? This is terrible. We'll use Disintegrate. What is this? This is the physical. Five shielding. I think that's worth it. We're gonna get another eruption off of our orb here. What the frick is that? that pretty much has to happen. Then I need to figure out how to get all of you guys in on here. I think we want to take out the healer here. This looks absolutely terrible. I think we're going to take a turn deficit here. Flyer's dice didn't hit yet again. If we're not going to get this, then I'd honestly might as well just take out this healer because it's going to make my next turn worse. Let these guys charge next to me, and we'll finish this off next turn. Another extra turn. That's unfortunate. Okay, now we've got some stuff that we can really work with here. We need good AoE, or just to supplement our single target damage. Incendiary wouldn't be too bad. Incendiary, is that seriously baseline 3? I think I already knew that, didn't I? Could have swore that was 4 before. Maybe I'm insane. No, that's right. This has always been 3. Don't know why I thought that. But using this with combo is pretty ridiculous. Bringing it down to a 2 cooldown. Possibly bringing it down to a 1 if we have the -1 cooldown. Otherwise, Smoke Bomb is just, like, great. Smoke Bomb with Cleave could have gone into a very good crit build. Dazed also obviously makes it so that enemies deal less damage to us, which is good because we're currently, like, looking at a spike build here. I think we're going to go with Smoke Bomb. When gaining combo, gain 40 Omni damage until a binding is used. Eh? That's kind of nice. That's Vigorous 2. Right when we got Shadow. If I was to liquidate something here, I don't know what it would be. Would it honestly be Verdant to gain more max HP? Get us closer to that? That would be getting rid of Rosy Thorn, but it would give us Pincushion, which is used. Yeah, none of these interest me. Oh. Really is interesting. Misting Bells is already basically giving us 2 shielding per turn, but under a condition that we sometimes don't take. I suppose if we have an extra orb on the floor, we don't need to use the shielding. I think it honestly might just be this Rosy Thorn. Could it also be this, just to double our vigor? Maybe. I'm really not too enthused by Station Grade Klaxon either, but we can wait till after the boss in order to grind that. Liar's Dice also isn't really wowing me. Go ahead, we'll get rid of the Rosy Thorn. We really have no need for a superior. I guess we have an open space. We could always just trade out station grade Klaxon for something. Just the odds of us finding something that's like really gonna wow us right now is kind of low. What the heck is going on here? It's gonna be more efficient to do something like this. There we go. Looks pretty good to me. We honestly might purposefully take a couple hits here. As long as it's enemies that we know that we can kill with our eruption, which would be these guys right here. And we need to focus down everything else. The reason why we're doing that is because we want to get to higher HP levels. This is dangerous. Actually, let's keep this Bloodthirst for Giannis. Let's go ahead and use this. Alright. Poison Thorn, a Quillen Catcher, not really interested. Orbulicum, Softened Wispit. What is Orbulicum again? Enchanted. Doesn't really do it for me. This would help us considerably. I really don't appreciate just getting 10 physical damage per at the end of turn, but I'll be honest with you, the rest of these aren't going to help us versus Giannis either. I might even just liquidate this. Might be correct to do that afterwards. Garden is always appreciated because it has lots of Quillen cages, or not cages, destructibles, right? But I still don't think that that's what we're looking for here. We're going to go ahead, head here. I think I need that for this fight. I guess I could take Swift 2, get this closer to Ambusher, but that's even not really I think it might be Tiny Heartstone, actually. Let's grind that one up. Because Tiny Heartstone giving us Vigorous 3 is generally better than what it does on its own. Shocking Core Cap again? Yeah, Shocking Core Cap again. Definitely appreciate it. It doesn't give us any crit to start, which is kind of scuffed. But it'll at least give us some Omni damage, which then we make back with Vigorous. Cracked Shackles is kind of an interesting idea whenever we get combo, which we're generally currently using with Eruption. It will get like nearly double or like plus 80% damage, which is notable because we do have ability power. So it's not like at air quotes almost double, because I don't know, that's just not how it works. Future Willer would have been interesting had we ground up Station Grade Klaxon. I also don't, if we could fit it, I'd be about it because it's actually quite good. Like maybe we just drop Liar's Dice and put in Future Willer. That's a possibility. Let's get a second cracked, drop that. Because not even the set bonus is appetizing to me as far as Liar's Dice is concerned. Do I want another green Og? I think I do. They've not been very appetizing to us as of late. I'll tell you what, shield wall reduction is pretty good. Critical Eruption actually doing something. Like, that's the third Critical Eruption that we've been offered. It's also like the third Virulent Fist that we've been offered. We'll bite and grab a Critical Eruption. Alright. Just looking at what we got going on here. Yeah, that Future Willer's putting in work. If we could somehow get, like, another combo going here, that would allow this to do a lot of damage. Right now it's just okay. I think we use this, pick this up. Might as well actually just hit you with that. Alright. It's doing like 85 damage. It's a little rough, to be honest. Is this only once per turn? We have two of these. Oh, I guess we would. It's not our first non-basic, even if that worked. Okay, so we basically used that damage bonus. Makes sense. A little upsetting, but it makes sense. We still have some thorns, so this will take care of everything. I think at this point, maybe we take this Bloodthirst blend. It's still going to be so good for Giannis. Yeah, we're doing it. This is actually going to deal much more damage than Eruption is. So do we just face race? I admittedly don't even know what turn it is right now. It's not quite gonna kill him. Is that an extra turn? No, it's perfect. Okay. If the game insists. Reckless Run. Increase range. Increase damage by how far the teleport range is. I wonder how that works with the extended range. I think we went Twin Lash, though. Twin Lash allows us to get to Cracked Shackles a lot faster right now. That's also unmodified, though, so that's like up to double damage. Like just under. Pretty interesting, but that costs a lot of movement, requires specific enemy positioning. I would rather much just have dummy simple Twin Lash. On hitting enemy, gain 40 Omni damage per enemy hit until the end of the turn. Not really a fan of that. Just give me a devastating smoke bomb. Make this a good AoE skill. Like, this is already rivaling Eruption. We're about to phase Eruption out of existence. Alright. I think we wanted to get rid of Soften with Spit, but that's better as a double, like, negation, if that makes any sense. We honestly don't have much that we want to get rid of. We kind of dropped the one item that we weren't looking forward to. Like, maybe Misting Bells was correct just to get it out of our inventory. Voice of Fortunes. Okay. Ink Needle Compass isn't bad. Anyways. That's pretty good. Alright. Beat of Flame, Tarnished Treasure. Miss me with those. Is any of them technically better? I think we want to liquidate this Ink Needle Compass, if anything. Get some crit going on here. It's another damage multiplier that we've currently not yet tapped into. Go ahead, give me a rare augment. I'm about that. That's pretty good. I do like this skill. We haven't put anything into it though. I think we're just gonna go for the quest completion. We're not really using Runic Fist quite a lot. When used with combo, deal bonus physical damage. We really should see if that's... Then again, another 8 stacks of spite on a skill that we do actually use. Huh. I do want to see if this stacks someday, but I don't know if today is that day. Like, that's probably ridiculous, honestly. It's just the fact that it's a bad blue that I don't want to take it, but that's probably me just being ridiculous. Actually, what does this give? Gives Vigorous? Well, we could potentially liquidate this, right? Yeah, it's even up there. I could also liquidate this to get 200 Omni damage. Like, this is probably the right move, though. We no longer really even need shielding. Once we get this maxed out, like... I guess get me even more cash. Don't know why we'd need it, but we're doing magic first, okay. So then if that's the case, we're gonna buff you, destroy you. I guess buff you? Just destroy you. Get this out on discount. Shielding isn't really doing much. It's more the spiked. Is what we're after here. Where is this? Oh, there you are. Flap. Hmm. I think that we're fine. We take 2 damage here. We're going to take 4 damage there. We're going to be able to out-heal it. Not too concerned about that. Leave this for next turn. Let a bunch of enemies hit us. Alright. Alright. I need Verdant. Burden of Wisdom is ancient. We don't like Burden of Wisdom. We could liquidate this. We can liquidate this. Unfortunately, Swift Hair's also here. I guess there's really not much that we use on that. Go ahead, get our money and run. Dun's Head's looking pretty freaking good right now. Book of Shadows, interesting because that gives us the Enchanted that we now have. Up to 3. It's some more magic damage. Gives us another Shadow, which is actually another breakpoint. So it gives us quite a bit of damage. Otherwise, we could go for this Warden here. Unstave in general is just pretty good. That also gives us our Shadow. Gives us Warden 2. Could also see dropping this Future Will or grabbing that Shadow book. Dropping the Future Will or grabbing Dun's Head, maybe? So we now have 30 DR. Correct. Okay, that's important. We don't want to waste any of that. I will drop Dun's Head. And I might honestly be willing to drop this for this. Nah, if we want to get rid of these, we'll liquidate them on the next area. Pretty good. How's that still not... Excuse me? Very confusing. incredibly confusing. However, I think this actually might be the correct play here. Pretty spicy. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, kind of figured that. So that will block 4 damage. This is probably better. I'm not sure I actually want to kill you now that I think about it. Is that going to kill you? No, we're fine. I think we're better off than we were when we started, which is good. Yeah, no damage. Vigorous, man. Got a loot box. We got some fish face. The natural progression above duck face. I really don't like force field at all. I would much rather take palisade wall. That's really 20 stacks of spiked. That's disgusting. Okay. No use in getting rid of these now. We can go up here. I think we're going to get rid of all 4 shackles, because at this point we're going to start getting purple items. They should be better than shackles. Holy Haro. Seems pretty good to me. Oh no. We actually do too much damage. I need to hit you with this. Oh no. That's terrible. Oh, that was okay. Alright. Dice of Fates, don't care. Arcanic Innards, don't care. Amulet of Floral Transposition. Dun's Head. Amulet of Floral, that is a Verdant, which brings us up to Verdant 3, which is not enough to get the attack boost. Unless we can find some other Verdants here? I don't think there's any other Verdants here. It'd be kind of weird if these were Verdants. Dun's Head does something. I think at this point we're liquidating Softened Whiffspit because it's too slow. Liquidating all these. Might as well just pick these up, honestly. Does that give us anything notable? Not really, just a whole bunch of sets. Archaic Innards does literally... Oh, wait, that's a full cost reduction? It's a free Twin Lash. That's basically one will. Never mind, Archaic Innards can stay. Dice of Fates isn't going to do anything for us. I'll get rid of this. Amulet of Floral's fine. Dun's Head's fine. I really don't see anything, like, spicy here. I guess Equalizing Fist might as well crit. I'm not sure that that's actually the case. I might actually just take... it might as well crit. And I can get a blue from here. It's Golden Sails. Absolutely useless. Well, it's been real. Alright, let's do this correctly this time and start from the top. Oh my god, that Discord conversation I muted is still just going off. Number go up. I'll tell you what, that looks good. Let's use this to get down below. No use in using any of my combo, really. Even if I take a damage from that, I don't care. Because, yeah, we have enough Vigorous to cover it. And then some. How high can combo go? Six? There's no way that that's doubling. Oh, because we took the infusion, not the doubler. I'm a friggin' idiot. Oh, man. Yeah, 6 combos a bit ridiculous. We would have been able to see how that one works, though. If it would have, like, freaking quadrupled its damage. Oh, man. We screwed it up. I still don't think that it's necessary, though. I don't think there's anything else to say about that. We only missed, what would it be, 250? What was that 250? There was 100 that I know. We missed turn one, and then we missed the next turn. We missed one turn on the next fight too. Okay, so we literally just missed 2 turns. Otherwise, it was pretty good. We were obviously a little slow to get in there. The first turn, obviously, like I said, complete RNG. The second fight probably was a line, right? Like it's hard to say like, oh, I just didn't re-roll anything when you have the devilish mod in play for the 2 random bindings, because you know that you're just about getting the exact same thing as everybody else. So then you start to look at, okay, did I like misplay my kit? We also had our first binding then, so we walked away from a couple of augments that probably could have given us a little bit more damage. Like there was definitely some things that we could have done to possibly win that second fight and get another 150 points, which would have put us at 76,650, which would have been amazing. Like as far as I'm concerned, that's perfect because you can't consider perfect when the first fight is, up in the air to RNG a lot. But regardless, like honestly nowadays, I say that if you get above like 46, maybe 45, like that's a damn good run. And we had a damn good run. We didn't even really use Palisade Wall that much. So that's why I'm saying like we probably could have had a better binding, especially since we got Verdant relatively early. I don't think that we ever cared about damage taken. That's probably not true. We traded quite a bit with Nim, and we were using Shield Wall during that. So, yeah. Well, we won with Emblem of Enterprise. Anyways, hopefully the run was entertaining or at least enjoyable. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put that down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.